I'm Patty Ann Brown, and you are in the Strategy Room. New revelations in the Hillary Clinton email scandal. Fox News has learned that more emails sent through the former Secretary of State's unsecured server were classified even beyond the top secret classification level. With some so sensitive, even some lawmakers on congressional oversight committees lack clearances high enough to read them. Clinton has dismissed the report, saying it changes nothing. But what do voters think? Joining us now, Fox News contributor Ellen Ratner in L.A. and Republican strategist Sarah Chamberlain in D.C. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so here's what we know from the email investigation. More than 1,300 emails designated as classified were found on Mrs. Clinton's server. She says they were not marked classified at the time, but Fox News has confirmed that at least 2 pulled from a random sample were designated as top secret when they hit that server. And now the Inspector General says, quote, several dozen additional classified emails have been found, including some designated SAP, which is even more classified than top secret. Ellen, how damaging to her campaign?
If I was Hillary Clinton, I'm not sure how damaging to her campaign, but if I was Hillary Clinton, I would go after some of those Tea Party votes, even though it's not necessarily going to help her get the nomination, but it would help her once she got the nomination by saying, who can trust government? Look at all those emails that were taken or information that was taken by the Chinese from the servers in terms of people's Social Security numbers, etc. So I would just say you can't trust government, and neither did I, and that's why I put it on my server, and I would let it go at that.
Interesting strategy. Secretary Clinton signed a non-disclosure agreement back in 2009 that required her to protect classified information regardless of whether it was marked. And that agreement goes on to say, quote, unauthorized retention or negligent handling of such information could cause irreparable injury to the United States. Former CIA Director David Petraeus signed an identical non-disclosure agreement, and as you know, he was prosecuted for violating it. Petraeus shared SAP intel with his mistress. He was found to have violated the Espionage Act. So, Sarah, should Secretary Clinton be prosecuted?
Absolutely. I think it's without question. And actually, this is a little personal to me. My late husband was dying from pancreatic cancer. He worked in the White House, national security. We didn't have a server at our house. Every day he got up and went in and did his job. So I absolutely think she should be prosecuted on this.
You know, Ellen, Mrs. Clinton keeps repeating the same line, quote, the emails were not marked classified at the time they were sent or received. But a former senior law enforcement source who spent decades investigating SAP violations tells Fox News, quote, there is absolutely no way that she could not recognize SAP material. It is the most sensitive of the sensitive. So, Ellen, are voters going to keep buying this denial? They weren't marked at the time, when some people say, look, it's really obvious.
Look, the fact is that whoever it is, a lot of people think it was China, got into USA servers through government servers, but they didn't get into Hillary Clinton servers. So how do you say that what happened to her was not effective? In fact, I actually don't think you should also go after General Petraeus. These people are doing their very best job that they possibly can by taking things home sometimes because they don't necessarily trust what's going on in the government. I think it's okay.
Sarah, do you agree with what Ellen is saying, that, you know, Hillary did this because the information was safer on her homebrew server in her house than it would have been in the protection of the U.S. government?
Absolutely not. We all know that that's really not accurate, and if that was her issue, she should never have signed the paperwork that she did. She should have fought it back then. She signed it. She had every intention of not having them come home to a personal server. For some reason, she chose to have them sent to her, and she should be prosecuted for that.
Ellen, Bernie Sanders has been creeping up in the polls. He, of course, famously said he's sick of hearing about the emails. At some point, though, do you think he's going to change his tune as this race tightens, start bringing this up as an issue?
I actually don't think so. He's got a lot of other issues, whether it be health care and income inequality to focus on, and I don't think that he wins any Democratic votes by focusing on this. So I don't think he's going to.
All right. Ellen, Sarah, thank you both so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And for more on the 2016 presidential race, check out foxnews.com. I'm Patty Ann Brown. Thanks for watching.